Alright, today I am clad in black on purpose, and of course you can call me the man in black. But it is not for bad reasons. It comes from a very safe place. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, today on the show we have something that seems so obvious, but so oblivious to so many of you out there. You know, every relationship has issues and problems, and some of the problems come simultaneously. We expect them, but we don't have solutions for them. And today I want to talk to a category of people that are actually family to us, that matter so much to our relationships, and we respect them so much that sometimes we don't know what to do when they fault against us. And sometimes they are the people or the reasons as to why we are together. I'm talking about couples that are already maybe in an engagement, couples that are already making it out, you know, that group that has chosen to stick together in the pursuit of marriage. And now there is the other second or third party that comes in your relationship, that is none other than the in-laws. Now, we always have issues with our in-laws, where the mother-in-law becomes a monster in-law, your sister-in-law becomes a sickness in-law, and then probably your brother-in-law becomes a bothering in-law. You know what I'm talking about? Then your uncle becomes an uncle breaker to you as an in-law. That is something that is not healthy for your relationship. And in most times, we don't know how to deal with these people. So on the show today, I want us to talk to a couple, or so many guests are going to be talking to you on those different capacities. And we're going to have the in-law, we're going to have, mother-in-law, father-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, maybe an uncle as well, to help you understand, first of all, as the couple, what in-laws really mean to you as a couple. And then secondly, even the in-laws themselves, to know how far they can intrude into your relationship or into relationship of their daughter or their son. And so they really need to know that is very, very important. Most times it is very hard for us as the people in the relationship to jump up no gamba anyazala wanti mama manyawo koma oba otya bambi. But we are going to help you reach that message out. Shugga. Anyway, right here, right now, we are at a Platinum Wellness Spa. I always keep telling you about this place, and some of you keep calling me, Shugga, where is Platinum Wellness Spa located? Just go to your GPS, that is Google, and be in position to locate this place. It is in Upper Buziga. You can use Lukuli Road. All you need to do is follow Lukuli Road. You'll be in position to locate it. And then you can use your Google map. We are now in a digitalized era, so that's where you can find it very, very easily. But of course, you know what happens here? It is always the wellness of your health is what matters. It is very key here. So here we say we take care of you. How? We give you massage, we give you sauna, we give you steam bath. And when it comes to massage, it is extra because there are so many types and categories of massage that are delivered right here, right now.
The first thing that you need to acquire within you as a housewife, you need to understand that you need to live under the justice of God so that you can operate on the wisdom and understanding of God. However, life in general can be overwhelming. Being a housewife can be really overwhelming because you have to deal with so much. You have to be neutral, and at the same time, you need to have the strength of God within you. If you are going to operate under justice, you need to make sure that first and foremost you give back what belongs to God. Because as we know in the Bible, when you start with the beginning of the Bible in Genesis 1, it talks about the beginning. In the beginning, heaven and earth was created. What does that mean? It means that everything on earth, everything belongs to God. Everything. So we need to be spiritual led in all aspects of our lives.
The world has not trained us to understand things before we become part of them. So we are ending up getting married just because we want to run away from bachelorhood. We are being inspired to enter into marriages just because it's the culture. People want to enter marriages because they have reached an age where they need to get married. That's not how things work. That's why the dark spot accidents are always happening. Why? Because we don't understand the total concept of marriage. We think that me finding a good looking girl depending on the values of the world. Some of us, we think that if you get a girl who is educated, you'll be fine in marriage. If you get a beautiful girl, beautiful woman, brown, sijui, whatever, all that. So we end up entering into these marriages based on wrong observations, based on wrong intentions. Then now we find issues in marriage. We start to say marriage is hard. But marriage is hard. What you're in is not marriage. It is just a mere excitement of your misguided intentions of life, misguided values, because marriages are not entertained because people are looking for beautiful ladies. Marriages is an institution created by God, and marriage does not start on top that I'm joining so and so we agree and we go and get married. No.
You cannot do things according to your own understanding because you're going to get tired. A human being does not have the authority of operating itself. You're supposed to be spiritual led in all areas of your life. Now, if I'm a housewife and I have to deal with so much, first and foremost, I need to understand that I am a mother who is going to lead a home. Now, if I'm going to lead a home, I'm representing God. And so I need to be instructed by God. You need to have the patience within you. You need to have the love within you. You need to be neutral because you're going to deal with your husband. You're going to deal with your children. You have to understand your husband because you know that you're in a place of imperfection.
Man should understand that man is spirit. If you're spirit, what makes you identify the spirit in you? First of all, you are made up of your heart. You are made up of your mind. You are made up of your soul. You are made up of your strength. The soul represents the understanding of man. Now, you see that, why am I saying that we are entering into things without knowing the true character of these things? Because if man is a heart, if man is a mind, if man is a soul, do you know very well that if I sit in a class, but my mind is not in that class, my heart is not in that class, that means I won't understand whatever they are teaching in that class. By the time you ask me, what have you been doing in the class? What have they been teaching in the class? I'll have no answer. Why? Because my spirit was not there. My body was there seated, but my mind was far. My heart was far. Now, most of the people like us men who are in marriage, that's how we are. We are not present. We are absent. Though our bodies are there. Our hearts are far. Our minds are far. Our understanding is far. So we don't expect. The Bible is so clear. It says that what you reap is what you sow is what you reap. If something does not have your attention, if something is not controlling your mind, if something is not controlling your heart, how do you expect that something to be productive?
So you need to be spiritual led. You need to have the areas of God within you. You need to be guided by God. You need to understand that you're a human being. You need to face every character within you, because when you go into the Bible still, if you go in John 9, it talks about human beings being blind. We were born by nature blind. So these are blind people you're dealing with, and you have to be the bigger picture here that is going to lead a home spiritually.
Some of us, we are seeking for comfort in marriage. If you're seeking comfort in marriage, you are seeking shelter in the wrong place. Marriage is not the source of comfort. Marriage is sacrifice. So, for me to be ready to get married, first of all, I need to know, why did God create marriage? God created marriage. First of all, He didn't start with the marriage on top. So you basing your life on this marriage on top, you need the marriage first of all from inside you. As we have said, that you have a heart, you have a mind. Now this heart, most of the time represents us, the husbands. And our minds represents the woman. You see, your mind is stubborn and it is weak because it is near the senses. Your mind is always driven off. Your mind is always taken by simple things. That is the character of women.
So, my understanding of being a housewife is you need to know that, one, if you are in a relationship, there is a oneness. based on the understanding of God, as the Bible tells us that we are children of God. So justice must prevail through God. One, as a housewife, you need to give in your inner self back to the owner, so that within you, you are not leading yourself. You are trying to understand everyone in the home. Your children should be spiritual led. Through you, you have to guide them as a leader. And also you have to understand your husband, that, as a mother, you're not going to put all your emphasis on your husband. You have to help him grow spiritually, and you have to understand that you are with a man who is imperfect, for starters. Now, as a mother in a home, first and foremost, there are things that are going to disrupt. You have to deal with your in-laws. You have to deal with your sisters-in-law. So in that area, you have to understand that there's going to be a lot of chaos in a home within you. So when you have the attributes of God within you, first and foremost, you're spiritual led, you're becoming a vessel. God is going to guide you on how to speak to people, on how to communicate to your family, on how to have a good relationship with them based on God.
Now, if your heart cannot control your mind, don't expect to have a successful marriage. And if you are not humble to your own self, to your heart, don't expect to be humble to another person. So here, God is trying to show us that the challenges we have in our marriages, it is a sign that there is something wrong we don't understand about what? About marriages. Because it does not start on top. First of all, for you to have peace in marriage, you need to have peace first of all with yourself. And you to have peace with yourself, you need to know who you are. And you can't know who you are without you being in touch with your Creator, God, who created you. There is no way you can run away from God. People have distanced themselves from God because of the religious experience. They find it hard to deal with God because they think he's a tough taskmaster who is above there waiting to punish them, who is above there waiting to give them instructions they cannot follow. So, for us to be successful husbands, we need first of all to know, what does it mean to be a husband? Husband is not a title. Husband is a life, whereby men, we should be able to sacrifice of who we are so that we join ourselves to a new identity of being what? Husbands. For you cannot be still with your own understanding, stubborn, interested in doing things the way you want to do them, being that proud man, and you think you can be a very good husband. That is a very big mistake. So before you call yourself a husband, before you indulge yourself in marriage, are you ready to sacrifice your old life? Because what you're trying to join is something new, which requires a new understanding, which requires a new way of responsibility, which requires you to live your way of understanding so that you start to live a life of what you are indulging yourself into. So the problem is that we have wrong intentions of marriage because we don't understand marriage. Now we enter into marriage with our old mindset, with our old interests, with our old understanding. It cannot work. It cannot work. But for you to be successful in marriage, you need to understand why God created marriage. What does it mean to be married? What am I required of to be in marriage? That's why there is always a baptism, there is always a change, there is always preparation if man is entering into a certain thing, a certain step in life. That's why you see that, for example, if the government is employing people as policemen, they take them through training so that the other life of being a civilian is washed away. Now they get to understand that now they're a new creature. They are now an authority to represent a certain order
As a mother, as a housewife, you need to know that the family has expectations from you. Your husband's family expect you to respect them according to what they need. They expect you to live according to what they want. But again, like I said, that it all starts with God. Now, if you're spiritual led, you need to know on how to speak, on how to be patient, because through God, through justice, through the justice of God, we learn that we get the attributes of God within us. You're peaceful within you. You are loving, you're understanding. So you need to get ready to welcome everyone as they come through you. You need to get ready to also try and share the spiritual, with love, not, because, when the Bible talks about righteousness, people get to think that God talks about their morals and values, their behaviors. So you have to understand people according to who they are. You have to take away the judgmental part of you within you and try to understand your in-laws according to who they are and try to understand them. So you mingle and try to be mutual with who they are and who you are.
We guys, the issues we have when it comes to marriage is because we, first of all, the beginning of us entering into marriage, it is built on wrong foundations. We have wrong values. If any man has any challenges in marriage, just know you have wrong values. Why you joined what marriage, and these wrong values, they don't come from home alone. Even where you call church, even where you call mosque, they can influence you with wrong what motives. Basically, I'll speak on the basis of us, the born again. That we the born again, why do you think our marriages are not standing? Why do you think we have a lot of divorces? The way we have a lot of weddings. Our weddings are so many, but the divorce are also is too much. Why? Because the born again has no strong values for marriage. They only call people, say, hey, all the singles there, look around, there are men here or there are women here, so you need to get married. Now a sister starts to fast, a brother starts to fast because they want to get married. You know why? Us, most of the born again, we get married because of lust. Because we have taken long to have sex, now you want to get married because of sex. Are you a sex object? You get it? God did not create marriage for sex. He created marriage because if you are married because of sex, how long in a day will you play sex? What time are you going to spend in bed? Don't you see that you're lying to yourself? Because the time you spend in bed with your partner is very little, and the time you spend out of bed planning, thinking, talking, living life together is the biggest moment you live. So can you live your partner without a bed? Are you able to understand each other and agree and talk and plan things and live a life without bed?
When you're going to deal with your in-laws as a mother who is spiritually led, you have to make sure that you stick to your attributes of God, because you're going to have interruptions, you're going to see different creatures, you have to know your boundaries, so you need to stick to the attributes of God within you.
So basically, as a husband, the Bible is very clear when it comes to our role as husbands. The number one role of a husband is to love your wife. Now, when the Bible speaks about loving your wife, it does not mean that wake up in the morning, kiss her, hug her, go buy her stuff and drop her stuff, drive her around, or walk with her. No. That is not defined as love. Love means understand your wife and accept her the way she is according to the truth. Not that your love for your husband, for your wife will make you a fool. Or if someone can say, but you tell me to love my wife the way she is and accept her the way she is. Yes, I have added on that. Understand her and accept her the way she is according to the truth. Because someone may say, what if my wife is so misbehaving? She's into adultery, she's into this. Should I continue to love her? No, God did not create someone to be an adulterous person. Or, God did not create us with weird behaviors. So for you to love your wife, first of all, understand and accept her the way she is, according to what? To the truth. Which means that you are able to make sure to understand that if she has some faults, if she has some misbehaviors she has, it is your responsibility to be patient with her and find a way. If possible, you can look for me and I give you a clear way of how we can be patient while praying for people, so that God can change those people and those people become who they are supposed to be.
When it comes to your in-laws, especially your mothers-in-law, we tend to have stubborn mothers-in-law within our marriages who get to think that they're going to control us throughout all. But like I said, when you have the foundation of justice within you, you're spiritual led. And when you're spiritual led, first and foremost, you're resting within you, because you're expecting all kinds of creatures to come before you, the animal characters of God, because the animal characters who are not in God are going to come and attack you. So when you're spiritual led, you learn how to put boundaries on how to deal with certain things, have peace within you. You welcome her as she comes, but you have a boundary that, you know what, this is my husband, this is what I should speak. Because when you're spiritual led, you know when to speak things, you know when to react, you know when you have to fight, you know when you have to speak, because you are an authority within you.
What makes us understand and become true in marriage is us knowing the intentions why we are getting what? Married. Why are we joining? And the characters we must seek for in our partners. These must not be characters on top. We must be able to have spiritual eyes to identify inner character, because inner character can sustain us. Hallelujah. So if we understand the things based on God, then we can be successful in marriage. If you love that girl because of her legs, I can assure you God is going to produce other people who have more legs than that girl. And you'll find issues settling with her, because the legs are coming every day. You get it? So we get misled by those small what? Issues. And we start complaining. Marriage is hard. Marriage is complicated. But why? Our values of why we entered what? Marriage.
Well, when you learn justice spiritually, you're going to learn that you're not going to be people-led. And first and foremost, you're going to be trained through God, because now you have the foundation of justice. You are not training yourself. The kingdom of God itself is within you, because you are spiritual led. You're ready for anything. Because when you are a housewife and you're always having spiritual strength is you being able to follow the instructions of God, the word of God within you. You have a lot of characteristics of the kingdom of God. So first and foremost, make sure that you have not been in that involvement of you're fighting with it should be of peace. If your mother-in-law has come up with that, you're not going to fight physically, because it's not up to you now. You're spiritual led. It's when you're in the spirit, God is aligning your what? Your life. He's aligning your life. Now, when you put a lot of flesh physically, then you're not spiritual led. So now if it comes to that point whereby my mother-in-law is violent, she's trying to bring about, my husband getting another wife, that is up to now God. I'll be like, if this is not for me, I'll sit down and wait for God's direction within me.
The love God has for us, He does not love us because we don't have mistakes, because we don't misbehave, but He loves us because He has power to get us back into the right person we were created to be. So if you as a husband, you love your wife, that means you can be patient with them while believing that you're trying to do whatever is possible for these people to change. So the number one responsibility is you to understand your wife, understand and accept her the way she is. Then you will have a dialogue. Then you will talk. If you understand her that she does not know how to cook, but you know that she can learn how to cook, why do you separate with her for something which can be learned? If you can, because all of us, God requires us to change. So if people can change, but the best thing, do you understand her? If you understand someone, then you can be patient with them. If you understand someone, then you know that this person, since I understand her, I know that these weaknesses are there, but with the time, if I dedicate my life to see her change, she will change. So husbands, we are required to love them, because I can assure you, you cannot be complete because you're finding faults in your partner. The world will advise you. Your own understanding will tell you that, if the woman is disturbing you, you leave her and go on. Okay, if you leave her and go find another one, and another one disturbs you, so where will the journey stop?
If we met, we're having a relationship, we are able to sit down and speak about things that we do not like as us, because now we have rest within us. Of course, you come to an agreement, this is not working out, because when you're spiritual led, you're having rest within you. You speak things in terms of peace and love, not in terms of, you're fighting, now we're going to do this. You're very calm. If you tell me now, I want this to be changed, I'll make an effort. If it means me having training so that I can have that, I will, because now we are in an agreement together. But if the relationship is based on family, then it's not spiritual led, it's people led.
So we need to be patient. And us being patient, it is not inborn that you are patient, but you require to ask God for these things. As an husband, you should learn to pray simple prayers from God. God, give me the ability to be patient. Give me the courage to accept this situation. Give me the patience to be transformed into the husband I'm supposed to be. These are things we need God for. You don't need God for cars. You need God. You don't need God for boarding aeroplanes. You need God to give you the courage to be patient. You need God to give you His understanding on how to be man. You need God to guide you to the right partner, and you need God to help you become what He created you to be, because it is in God's best interest that people get married and live together.